This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Good morning and welcome to Guardian Radio AM. Today is Tuesday, July 12th, and it's a little after 11 a.m. in the morning. Once again, this is C.A. Newry, and I shall be your host for today as we have a conversation with Tyronda Glinton, who is the president of STEM Bahamas, which is a youth-based non-profit organization which educates, empowers, and equips high school girls, right? I got all of that from your website, actually. Yeah. Are you able to hear her there, producer?
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Because I'm not hearing it in my mic. So hopefully that everyone else can hear her. But I wanted to know about what exactly is STEM. But I also want to know how you got involved in it. Why is it important? Because I know what STEM is. And I may have to go and do a definition for that so people can understand and appreciate it, right? And why I thought it necessary to bring you on. But I want you to start with, what is this STEM program that you're president of?
Okay, so STEM Bahamas, as indicated already, is a youth-based nonprofit organization whose mission is to educate, empower, and equip high school girls who are interested or to pursue careers in science, technology, engineering, and math. Our organization serves as a platform for these girls to be exposed to these programs, but also to solve problems in this country through the education of science, technology, engineering, and math. So essentially, we want to equip them and to diversify our Bahamian economy ultimately so that they'll be able to get these careers and essentially solve problems.
And you're the president of this organization. I want to know, why did you start it? Felt the need to start it? Mm-hmm. Why is this organization important? Why are you targeting young women, young girls, 13, 14, 15?
Mm-hmm. So there are a number of reasons why I decided to start this organization. First of all, I am a woman in STEM. I'm in the technology arm. And being a part of projects where I get to see where Bahamians are not able to take full advantage of opportunities that exist because we do not have or may not have the skill set is one of the key reasons why I started it. The second is because my sister, she's a biochem major. She struggles, with getting mentorship or finding pathways in the sciences because it's so broad. Was really hard for her to narrow down a skill set or a discipline that she wanted to pursue. So getting access to those resources I found is very important, and having the people at your fingertips, your people, to be able to tell you, hey, this is the way you could go, to me is important. Mentorship is important. So that's another component. And thirdly, because I was also a part of a pageant organization, and there was a girl who was doing engineering, and she could not find a nonprofit or any community organizations where she could have developed her community service and to showcase her platform, which was in engineering. So I thought it necessary after all of that to start it for myself and to also to allow them to be able to have a forum to be able to do that.
So basically you're bridging a gap.
Definitely.
Because there's definitely a disconnect.
It is.
I went to UB, right? CUB at the time. And everybody who took biochem ended up working at Atlantis at the front desk. There's no jobs.
Exactly.
So the idea to hear that you have an organization that prep young girls to facilitate them with tools, right? That they can find jobs and make a difference. I'm impressed with that.
Yeah, and the reason why we targeted girls, as I guess most people may not be aware, but as you may know now, there is a skill deficit. While we have a lot of people say girls do well in school, they are the ones who go to college. But when it comes to the actual corporate jobs or opportunities in the trades, we are not very well diversified or matriculated into the system. And that is because of a number of reasons. One is misconception. Studies show that a lot of females, they don't take on these opportunities because they think it's a male-dominated area or it's not for them. Two is the culture of okay, this is not for you or this is not for me. So I'm going to find something that is more female orientated. So I'm going to go into banking and then there's this misconception of what these disciplines do in general. I think that is another reason why a lot of girls and females do not enter these careers. And so I think that women should be in spaces not because of just because they're women, but I think they should be educated in their decisions. And that is why, like I said, we created this forum or this platform so that they could be aware, hey, there's a misconception of what you think a woman in technology look like. Not all of us are programmers. There are different careers that exist across the spectrum. In biochem, there is a broad degree. So you could find yourself in botany, you could find yourself as an environmental consultant. You could find yourself in all kind of aspects and careers within that discipline.
And that's important because when I think of biochem, I think of someone working in a lab or working on a boat.
Right.
Right. And I see you said botany and went into detail with other jobs. I'm not sure if young people are aware of the opportunities, the different diverse jobs that is available. Does your organization at least give them more information that you could do this, you could do that?
Absolutely. That is what our after-school program does and our organization does on a general basis, is to expose them to these careers. So last year we had a STEM-based workshop where we had people from NASA. We had an aerospace engineer.
When you say NASA, you mean like NASA?
NASA, like NASA.
Oh, not NASA. Okay,
not NASA. Yeah, so he was an aerospace engineer, but he was also of Caribbean heritage. And so he spoke to them about the different pathways that he had to take in order for him to end up where he is. We had people such as a biomedical engineer, which is a person who actually develops so for example, you have a respirator. There's somebody who engineers that respirator. And so we had somebody there talking about that. We had a cosmetic chemist who was a part of the actual workshop. And so a lot of girls, we are into beauty, but there is a science behind beauty.
There's science behind beauty.
So all of that is what we try to do through our program, is to enlighten them and, like I said, educate them not on just these are the careers, but the variety of the careers that exist to you. And there's an opportunity at each field. And they also connect and correlate to one another. So you don't have to necessarily be so strategic or so stickler to say, oh, if I'm doing biochem, like you said, I have to be in a lab. There are other options that are available to you. You just need to know of them. And I think that's what I know that's what our program actually try to do. To, like I said, enlighten and educate them for these opportunities.
Just off of cuff questions. My child, she loves math. I mean, she does math on her own, right? And just thinking about it, she has an issue now because she just took her final exam at St. Anne's, right? And I got the test back, but they give her a entirely different grade because they give her a 48 where she got a 92.
Wow.
And I'm still emailing back and forth. The head's mistress, and she hasn't emailed me back yet to say when they're going to change my child's grade. But I digress. I don't want to talk about that. I'm just flashback about how they didn't respond to me yet and changing my child's grade. But what type of career can someone who likes math get? As a mathematician, a
mathematician, a statistician. We have somebody who is in actuarial science, which is a combination of statistics and math, and they're usually found like in the insurance industry.
Nice.
So there are different opportunities that exist in math. You also find math a lot in computer and programming.
Math and computers?
Yeah, so you have people use math and numbers for data analytics as well. So that's where the intersection happens. So math is the foundation for a lot of these other disciplines. I mean, I wasn't a math lover, but more and more as I get into it, you realize that math is the foundation for a lot of the disciplines as well. So it all depends on their level of interest and how it can be used, but it can be used across the section. So yeah, they don't have to be just a math professor or instructor. It's a lot of times math is used, and if they want to go so far as to be inside NASA NASA, it is used there too to do quantum calculations and all these great things, algorithms, and artificial intelligence is used in math is used in that as well. So it all depends on how they want to steer it and how they want to use it.
So your organization, there is you're the president, right? And you facilitate all these workshops for these young girls, right, to empower them. And I understand that you have volunteers who come in and speak, help
Yes.
assists with the teaching. How does that go about? Do they call you? Can other people come and help? What's that? Or who all is involved at this present time? How big you are?
So we have a very small internal team, a team of 7 people who all are volunteers. They have their own disciplines. So we have a software engineer who currently works at Nike in the UK branch.
Wait. You have foreign people inside this local thing?
So she's actually a resident of the Bahamas, but she happens to work for Nike headquarters. So whenever she's at home, she volunteers her time. We have program managers, project managers who are part of the team. But like I said, it's a very small team, so they offer their services and time whenever they are free and available. However, in instances where we have our after-school program or a workshop, people's professional, most of the time, who are already in the industry, they volunteer their time. Or I reach out to them and ask them, hey, this is what I'm organizing. If you don't mind, we would like to invite you as a speaker on our workshop panel. And most of the times I have really great responses as long as it's within, obviously, their time constraints. So either they reach out themselves through our website or I contact them and they oblige. And I've so far, like I said, I've had great responses from everybody who've contacted to support us.
What's your website?
It's www.femstembahamas.org.
That's simple. Femstembahamas.org.
You can find us on Instagram or Facebook as Femstem Bahamas. I'm also being encouraged to start a TikTok page, so I'd have to engage my very younger participants to help me with that. But they're the ones who encourage me, say, Miss G, we need to start a TikTok now. So yeah, we're working on that.
So like I said, my child, she likes math, right? She has a interest in this accounting type thing, CPA and whatever it is, right? But she likes science, right? She said she already selected chemistry as one of her subjects.
And chemistry is very, and physics as well, is very math based.
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, the child like math, right? But how does she get involved? How does she get selected? I mean, I have connections now, but I don't want to necessarily use connections. I'm saying a person inside a public school education,
right?
They see they have a gifted young lady there who deserves an opportunity, who desires to go in biochem, who desires to be in technology, but does not understand the ways to get there.
Right.
She just have raw talent, right? She just know that I want to do something in computers, but she don't understand what in computers can she do.
Right.
How do they be selected? You say get in contact with you through your Facebook page, etc.
Right.
But how do they be selected for this program?
So we do have a sign up or register for the after school program option on our Facebook and our Instagram and website page. So once she selects sign up, she enters her information, and then we begin the interview process, which essentially we do have a panel and we go based on the scoring metrics, but it's not very heavily weighed on academics, even though we're asking for a 2-point GPA.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah, but we are also looking for most of our scoring is based on interview and level of interest. What we look for is your level of commitment, especially for our after school program, because it's 13 weeks and the program runs for an entire year. So the first phase of the program is 13 weeks and it runs throughout the school year. And essentially what we're looking for is somebody who expresses an interest in the program and will be able to stick through the program, because obviously it requires time. So once they sign up on the website, we will conduct an interview and then we shortlist from there.
Okay. So is this like every day after school thing, or like 2 times a week?
It's 3 times a week.
Times a week.
Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays from, we say 3:30 because we give them time. The classes really start at 4, but we give them time. So we say 3:30 to 5:30.
Okay.
Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So they don't require much of their time, but enough for them to be able to do what it is that we require them to do. On Mondays and Wednesdays, they will be broken into their disciplines. So for example, if they chose science, they will be in the science stream. If they chose technology, they'll be in the technology stream. And then on Fridays is when they conduct their project management activities, because essentially we believe in a project management or project-based approach learning. What we realize is young people learn better when they're actually solving a problem. And so we use Fridays for that, for them to, first of all, identify the problem that they're solving and then solve the problem through the Friday sessions as a team.
Okay. As you may know or may not know, 50% of the Bahamian workforce is made up of women.
Yeah.
Right? And out of that 50% of women, only a quarter of that amount actually are employed in some type of STEM type job. And I said that to read this text. This text vex at you.
What?
Right? He said that you're basically trying to overturn the barrel, the apple cart, right? It says, Newry, studies has indicated that women are interested in fields that involve social science, whereas men are interested in fields that involve things. So, or physical things, technology, right? So is your guest trying to fight against the basic human interest, the basic human nature? You're saying you are being one of those Jezebel type spirits who trying to change the nature of things. That men's supposed to be naturally in technology. That's what they're interested. And what you're trying to force, influence is unnatural. That women basically interested in no technology.
Well, that is the reason why I said from the beginning, we need to know the reason why. Why is it that men are more interested? The study shows that, but why is it that the men are more interested in those other aspects versus women in social sciences? And so essentially, we are not making them do anything they don't want to do. If they're not interested, then we are all by means allowing them to do that. But what we are trying to do is, first of all, make them aware of the opportunities that exist, aware of the different capacities that they are able to build. And if they're not comfortable, then they can make another choice. But I don't want, for me, and personally, it to be said that, and I know as a young woman growing up, I didn't know the opportunities that existed in STEM until I was a part of the Technical Cadets Corps program.
Well, thank God for that.
Yeah, thank God for that. And through that program, I was able to solidify that computer is what I wanted to do. But I was also involved and engaged in mechanical engineering. I had no clue of what that was. And that was also something that I was interested in but never knew existed. So the question is why? Why is it that women are more interested in social sciences? And so it's my belief, and studies show it's because of a number of things. And like I said, stereotypical statements like that.
Stereotypical statements like that.
That men should be doing this and women should be doing that is the reason why we want to engage this program for girls who may not have known, to be aware, and once they are aware, to take advantage of those opportunities.
Were you able to partner with any local technology jobs, business to help support you?
Yeah, so far, Alive had came on board, as well as BTC, went with financial sponsorship. However, there's an organization called ICA, which is the Inter-American Cooperation for Agriculture. They offered us an internship program opportunity for our members as well that would allow them to be able to work in the field and be able to have an opportunity to be actually engaged during the summer. So through that platform, we are able to not only provide them with the skills, but now provide them with the experience. And we invite other corporate members or partners to join us in this initiative. Because like I say, essentially, we want to empower our students and our girls specifically to take advantage of these opportunities and have hands-on real-world experiences while doing so.
You mentioned the acronym ICA?
IICA.
CA, right? And they sponsor you. They provide finances, or they give a
No,
program?
they provided paid internship opportunities.
So this international body pays the students who were selected for this.
Yes.
And then you just find the place to place them.
Yes.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, so all they asked us to do is to identify the students that we would like to for them to participate, and then we make a recommendation and they engage them and employ them for that internship program.
Oh, okay. So at this present time, you said already that BTC and Alive helps with that.
Yeah,
right?
they helped with financial small donations. Yeah, as to support our after school program.
So you are an NPO, non-profit organization,
yes,
right? Registered, and clearly you need funding.
Yes,
right?
And I want to take this opportunity as well because you mentioned corporate, but what I did not mention is that we just was afforded the opportunity to get a grant from the Small Grants Program from the UNDOP.
UNDOP?
Yes.
You have to explain what that acronym is.
Forgive me, Mr. Stewart. I would allow myself a time to elaborate further, but it's the United Nations. Now, I got to find out what the DOP before. Yes. But it's a small grants program that we were able to get sponsorship from that program, which is an international body, to be able to carry out this program. So I would like to take this time to acknowledge them as well. And anybody who would like to further support us, they could also donate through the Alive platform. Together with Alive, they have a online platform for nonprofit organizations and any civil society members that would like to get donations, but they don't have an online forum to do so. We are part of that, and that is how persons, even if it's, small change, $5, $10, if you would like to say contribute to a particular student, you can do that as well through that platform.
Clearly, these international organizations see value in your NPO, right? And that they're reaching out and saying, here, take this money, use it like whatever you need it for.
Yes.
So is STEM, women in STEM important?
It's very important. The international community recognize the importance of women in STEM. This is not something that is just to meet a quota is really necessary. I think women should be in all spaces as much as possible to make a contribution. And I just want to say we're not here to compete with our male counterparts because...
You're not here to compete.
No, we're not here to compete. Now, if it so happens that competition happens internally somewhere, somehow, but we just want to be able to be in a position to contribute, not to compete, in all honesty. And like I said...
You just need access, you're trying to say.
Just access. And... personally, like I said, as a woman in technology, I'm in technology spaces. Fortunately for me, I have not encountered really on a great scale any discrimination or, stereotypes as it relates to being pushed to the side in my current role. However, it does happen, especially because you're in rooms a lot of times when you're the only female, and in industries like marine science especially, you could see that happening a lot. And so, like I said, it's not to compete, but just access and to provide a forum for them to be a part and to let them know that this is also a career for you. So that I just want to clarify with that. And specifically with our workshop that we're organizing, our green energy workshop that we are organizing for Grand Bahama, to allow as well access to boys. We have also, for that particular workshop, opened the forum for all students to be able to participate for our Grand Bahama workshop, that is happening between August 8th to the 12th. So I also want to mention that as well.
Well, I wanted to speak with the Grand Bahama activity on the next side, but since you bring it up, right? Just some of y'all didn't have anything here in Nassau.
No, we didn't.
I know your organization didn't. Normally you have the advertisement at all. And I didn't see anything. So, but I hear that you're having something in Grand Bahama.
Yes.
First, I would like to know, why is that? And then you can go and explain what is it and what is the target audience for that?
Yeah, so we have gotten several requests over.
Because you're very Nassau-centric at this point.
Yeah, because of where I'm located and most of our members are located, and we are really trying to expand. It says FemSTEM Bahamas, not FemSTEM Nassau on Providence. So we are really trying to open the doors for other members and other students to participate and to take advantage of these same opportunities. So we had a number of requests from different people to have something for Grand Bahama, specifically for males and females in Grand Bahama, and centered around industry and development, especially post-Dorian. And so because of that, I took the initiative, the same workshop that we had last year, our Eco-Chick summer camp workshop we had last year. I decided to extend it and expand it for the students in Grand Bahama, where they will learn about biofuel, which is an alternative form of fuel from fossil fuels, the contribution to climate change and the impact on the environment. They will learn about renewable energy and green energy, which essentially means that you're transforming something that was agricultural based or plant-based into fuel, and now this fuel is powering your electricity. As you know, our fuel surcharge cost is high, especially as it relates to driving up the cost for electricity. And so making them aware that, hey, first of all, this is an alternative. This is an industry that you can actually go ahead and partake in. And this is an opportunity for you to also gain a skill that not only can help yourself, but help your family or help your country. This is what we are hoping to do through this program. They're also going to learn about mapping, GIS mapping, and flying drones and tying that into GIS mapping.
They can fly drones?
Yes. So they will learn how to also take those drone images and actually, like I say, map out through GIS, which graphical information systems, geographical information systems, to be able to let's say if they have a farmland that they have and they wanted to know how much acreage they have or to see how the land is actually being impacted, they'll be able to learn how to use drones to do that and also to put it into a computer software to be able to map that out. So that'll be another forum as well for them to be more exposed to these industries and how they can also create their own business in agriculture and green energy. So we're going to have people like Berkshire Farms on. We're going to have Farmer Chem. We're going to have Grand Bahama. We're hoping Grand Bahama Power and Light. We're going to have Dr. T. Coffees from Tennessee. He's a professor at Tennessee University. We are going to have Shakara Lightburn and Dr. Ancelino Davis. All of those persons who are already in the industry involved so that they'll be able to hear from professionals who know what they're doing. Like I said, my profession is in technology, but they'll be the ones to really talk to them and actually have them going through the lab exercises with Dolan Curtis Jr. from the Island School to transform cooking oil, used cooking oil, coconut oil, that they'll also be creating into biofuel. And showing how that biofuel can be used to power our country. So, yeah.
Your list is impressive. I recognize one or two of the names, and then you have an international flair to it, right? So I'm very much impressed with that, right? And I should be taking a break early, but when we come on the other side, right, I want to go in detail about what is blockchain, what is this... what is next thing? Blockchain and career development paths, what you have done before.
Okay.
And also to hear about some of your graduates.
Okay.
How successful were they?
Okay.
Right? But this is Guardian Radio AM. My name is C.A. Newry. I'm going to have a conversation with, let me see if I pronounce the name again. Tyronda Glinton, right? And who's the president of FemSTEM. FemSTEM Bahamas.
Yes.
We'll be right back.
All right.
Sign your basketball teams up today for the Michael Scooter Reed Peace on the Streets Basketball Classic, August 1st through the 7th at the Hope Center. Get ready for the pastors versus politicians, along with the Phil Lightburn Slam Dunk Contest, then Energy 3-point shootout, along with all championship games, live in living color at the Kendall G. Eliza Gymnasium, Sunday, August 7th, beginning at 5 p.m. That's the Michael Scooter Reed Peace on the Street Basketball Classic. For more information, contact 601-4842.
Loss of family members is very isolating, and people who have experienced loss appreciate when others have shared their grief. If you can't be there in person, go to the Nassau Guardian's website online at thenassauguardian.com and visit our obituary link. The Nassau Guardian's interactive obituary link allows you to read the funeral announcement, express condolences, or place photos on the online guest book for 1 full year. Losing a loved one is painful, but that pain isn't the worst thing to happen. Friends, loved ones, colleagues, and neighbors who ignore the loss compound the pain. Should the bereaved family wish to place the obituary and photos on our obituary site, just contact the Guardian's funeral industry partners or the Nassau Guardian. Remember, there isn't one magic right thing to say to someone experiencing loss that will make the loss less painful or easier to bear. The Nassau Guardian's obituary link, available online at thenassauguardian.com.
And welcome back to Guardian Radio AM. This is C.A. Newry, and I'm having a delightful conversation. Women in technology, young girls in technology are being empowered and given opportunities to lead the charge. I'm impressed with that. I'm speaking with president of FemSTEM. Let's see, I pronounce her name again. No, don't tell me. Tyronda Glinton.
Yes, sir.
And we're having a conversation on how her organization is providing opportunities for young girls, right? And before the break, I mentioned I wanted to know what type of. See, I don't want to say the program is academic. I want something tangible and technical that I'm familiar with.
Right.
Do you all teach these young girls how to create apps? Do you all teach about blockchain? That's a new thing. Everyone talking about blockchain. Do you all teach about cryptocurrency that I can say, okay, my child does that, right? I want to know if she's able to fix a phone because
Right.
that's a new big thing for me because I always break my screen.
Right.
And I can get her to learn how to change my screen. I don't have to pay the $120 for that. So I want to know what type of tangible things that they can use now that your program affords.
Right. So through that first phase of our after school program, we a part of our program, like I said, is project based. So what we did is provided a problem for our girls to actually solve, and which is to find a way to through technology to solve our waste management problems on behalf of the New Providence Ecology Park, which we know is a city dump. So the girls came up with an app, like you asked about, actually, to be able to track and automate their waste management system.
Did the girls keep up with their own app?
Yes, so we are going through the software development lifecycle, which begins with designing. And so they have already designed a prototype, and that was a skill set that they learned through the program. It's called UX and UI design, where they actually, through technology, drew out what their prototype would look like. And so they're actually going to present that. They already did a first presentation to the New Providence Ecology Park, but they want to actually do a full-scale presentation to the management team of that organization to present this proposed app. In the fall, they will learn all of the programming skills necessary using Python and as well as JavaScript to be able to develop this application to present the final product, like you said, something tangible for the actual client, which will be the New Providence Ecology Park, who partnered with us for this particular initiative. So yes, we do teach them tangible skills. What I also would like to mention, though, is there are soft skills that a lot of people kind of discount, and I believe that through this program, we also try to encourage that as well, which includes presentation skills, communication skills, actually preparing a proposal and drafting a document, how to budget, how to actually charge a fee.
Too.
Yeah, because you don't want to undercharge or overcharge a client. Even as a person who worked from the professional side, I noticed that a lot of behemoths miss out on opportunities to take government contracts just because they don't know how to respond to a proposal. So understanding how to properly respond to a proposal is something we also teach as a part of this program, so that when they get to the point of actually submitting their bid for a job or any international or local job, they'd be able to be in a position to do so. So that is some of the skills that we teach. For the fall, we are also introducing 3D printing and modeling as a part of the program. So they will learn how to prototype. For those girls who are interested in engineering, they'll be learning how to prototype their own buildings so that they'll be able to exhibit what they, through the program, through the actual software, but also physically what this building will look like. So yes, we do have tangible outputs as a part of the program, and hopefully we'll add food.
Yes, man. Like I said, I can picture my child doing that and just helping me out.
And to be honest, too, I really, it's very important that you ask that question, because a lot of times people want to see at the end of the day, what is the benefit of being a part of the program. And I would also like to mention, like you say, in starting their own business, we've been in contact several times. Access Accelerator representatives have been partnering with us.
Nice.
And they actually taught them how to, first of all, what is a business plan? What are the elements of a business plan? What is your target market? How do you pitch these people? So involving them in that way help them to be able not only to become career-driven women, but also to be able to establish their own business, even if they choose not to go to college, which is the non-traditional route in most cases when it comes to what people deem as STEM-based careers. So yeah, we try to be as hands-on as possible.
Excellent. I'm impressed. Like a typical cohort, how many young women would be in a typical cohort, like for the summer or even for this Grand Bahama one that you haven't? And give me the dates for that Grand Bahama thing again.
Okay, no problem. Grand Bahama's workshops are between August 8th to the 12th, and I would like to first of all mention that we also are sponsored by the Bahamas Areas Protected Fund for that program, and I really would like to thank them. And we are hoping to have Ministry of Grand Bahama on board and as well as alive. But
I know Ginger Boxer. You want me to send an email?
Yeah, man.
Ready?
We spoke to Minister Marks, but we're just waiting for a final confirmation. But
I could WhatsApp her.
Yeah, you can do that.
I can help you out.
All right,
Go
thank
ahead,
you.
go ahead.
But nonetheless, yeah, so it's August 8th to the 12th. And yeah, so we have Bahamas Areas Protected Fund and Grand Bahama Port Authority really showed up for us for this workshop, and I am grateful to them for that. So yeah.
I'm very impressed by how many organizations who has reached out to you, seeing the importance of this, seeing the value for women.
Yeah.
And especially inside our culture where we have a narrative of what women should do. It's interesting and pleasing to see that there are organizations, government and private entities that say, no, this is valuable for Bahamian women and we will empower them. So I'm impressed by that, by the names you call. I having someone who asking your name again. I'll let you pronounce it this time. And to give you, so you can give the website where they can contact you again.
All right, so my name is Tyrhonda, Tyrhonda Glinton. No, I was not born in a Honda, because a lot of people like to ask that question, but my name is Tyrhonda Glinton. You could find me on Facebook as FemSTEM Bahamas or Instagram.
Okay, and give the email address.
The email address is femstembahamas@gmail.com. We're in the process of changing it, but for now you can use that as a means of contacting us. So it's FEMSTEM Bahamas@gmail.com.
I have this person asking, say, well, definitely say kudos to the program, and it sounds very interesting, right? But they have a son, right, who needs such a program. Any thoughts about this or where they be geared towards? I know this summer in August, you plan to invite young boys to partner inside this, right? But what about in the future, New Providence? Because this is a women's group. I mean, it's a young girls group.
Yeah. Well, the great thing is, and I'm glad you mentioned partnership. We have partnered with BTVI that has, like I said, the technical cadet or ICT.
BTVI too?
Yeah.
all over the place.
They have a ICT program, and it was on hold for the last year or so, but they are resuming it.
Yes,
Yeah, so that is an excellent program. I recommend both boys and girls to be a part of that as well. That offers STEM-based classes and courses, and they do a rotation, meaning that they have an opportunity to learn for each segment, and then at the last year they will be able to choose their program, and scholarship opportunities exist for that program.
Scholarships too?
Yeah, for the ICT program at BTVI. And they also offer a stipend, so I would highly suggest that as an alternative until we decide if we would like to expand on a greater scale for boys. But definitely the ICT program, and they have a summer program as well.
I need BTVI to reach out to me, man, and so I can get a sponsorship. I can have a whole program, make it maybe 2 hours, and we just talk about whatever they have. I mean, just an idea. Just if they listen, reach out to me. I can talk about BTVI all day.
Yeah, and then there's other programs like Beta Camp, which has boys and girls as a part of their cohort, and they learn about aviation, they learn about computer science as well.
These things exist in the Bahamas already.
Yes, they do. They do. So that is, but they're run by Bahamians who happen to be living abroad, but they happen every summer. So Trinika Roll, she's from Grand Bahama originally. She is the program manager for that. And then you have the Blockchain Business School, which you asked about earlier, and we partner with them. That's how we became more greatly involved in blockchain learning. We partner with them for their summer camp, and they're also hosting a blockchain summer camp as well in August. So you could reach out to either Beta Camp or the Blockchain Business School to be able to involve your male children in those activities if you're interested as well.
Okay, they need to reach out to me so we can have conversations. But anyway,
Yeah, man.
I wanted to know, is there any Women's in STEM association, right? And the reason why I asked that, right, I know that you're doing a service to empower young girls. And I know that even though the number may be small for women who are in the STEM field, but to get a larger access to some kind of decal to call these people to say, hey, we're doing a program, or I need some sponsorship, right? Can you send one $50?
Right.
Is there some kind of
Not that
database of women in STEM?
Not that I'm aware of, but now that you say it, it's probably something we could possibly do. I'm going to tell you right now, essentially that's what our hope is. Our hope is over the long term, or over the course of the years, is that we serve as a hub for people who are looking for skilled professionals to be able to get access to those skilled professionals through our organization, and not at a cost, but to also be able to share with them so that they could benefit the organization and also the companies that are searching for these people. We want to be able to certify people in accredited areas. So, for example,
Wait, so they get certification with this too?
yeah, in some instances they do.
Okay.
But that's what our hope is for the long term. So, for example, we know there are a few microbiologists in the Bahamas, or if they need a lab, a certified lab to go to, we would like to serve as that platform for them to get their lab certified or for them to get their certification to be able to be a certified microbiologist. I was just using that for example.
understand.
So, we're hopeful to do that, but as I'm aware, not right now, that don't exist.
Oh, that's where your partnership with the Island School comes on, because they have a lot of programs.
They do. They have excellent programs, and they have.
They need to call me too. Go ahead, Mary. I'm listening. I just need a lot of phone calls.
Hint, hint. Yeah, so yeah, they have excellent programs there. So, and I realized too that partnership is important because technically speaking, I'm a full-time employee. So this is not something I'm paid to do. So
Wow.
it's important to partner in order for us to expand and reach as much as possible to carry out the goals. Because overall, like I said, for the most part, all of us have the same goal, which is to diversify our Bahamian economy and making sure that our people be able to have access to the tools and resources required to be able to be contributing citizens. And so I think partnership is ultimately important in all of this.
So let's talk about Grand Bahama again, right? I have this lady who's asking, can she fly her son over to Grand Bahama to participate?
I mean, yeah,
It's
absolutely.
technically.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if you answered the question on how big this cohort
yes.
in Grand Bahama is
so
going to be.
our cohort, our numbers are 50. Right now, I think I just checked this morning, we have about 25 students who've
So
already.
right now you're 25, but it's 50 that you can hold.
Yes.
And maybe 51, 52.
Yeah,
Maybe 50
maybe
you can hold.
they'll stretch a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, right now the numbers are 50. So that we will allow it to be interactive enough to be because our whole intent is for them to actually carry out the lab exercises.
Yes.
So
Hands-on.
hands-on. So we don't want the numbers to be too big that we can't manage that. But right now our numbers are 50 if we could squeeze one or two. But absolutely, if you would prefer to fly a student in, you can do that.
Can I get the age again?
Ages are 14 to 18 or 13 to 18.
13.
Yeah.
Grade 9-ish.
Yeah, grade 9-ish going in grade 10.
Mm-hmm.
Grades 10 to 12. But we'll accept them if they're going if they're in 9th grade going into 10th grade.
Okay. And is there a location for your cohort this time?
Yeah, so it's at Pelican Bay currently. And if we make any changes, it will just probably be through the week to another location. But right now it's set to Pelican Bay for the activities, including the closing ceremony.
And you know a Tramika role?
Yeah, that's
Okay,
the lady
the
from
person-
Beta Camp.
Oh, okay. No, they're asking how to contact them. Is there any email or
Beta Camp.
what's
It's
a website?
betacamp.co, I believe. So if they just
Say it
go-
again. What was that?
Beta, if they just type in BETACAMP on Facebook, they'll find the Facebook page, and that is how they'll find out all the information out for that club, as well as the Blockchain Business School, which is another STEM-based summer camp.
All right, there's another texter who's saying, please push for that association where we can see that many Bahamian women are already involved in STEM.
And
so
it- and it's-
they want to see a database.
Yeah, it is true. We have a lot, through this program, I've met a lot of STEM-based professionals.
I can imagine my daughter just seeing the names to
Yes.
see that she does that. That's just inspiration by
And
itself.
that's important because representation really truly matters, because we have female architects who came in and shared their experiences with our girls. We had female engineers who came in and shared that. We had, like I said, a cosmetic chemist who is also a Bahamian cosmetic chemist who shared their experiences with our girls. We have females in every discipline, basically, who've partnered with us, and it really, truly makes a difference. So, and even as a part of our team, our lead software developer is a female, and she is international at this point. So,
What?
yes, her name is Christy Powell. She was.
Oh, I know Chrissy Powell.
Yeah, everybody knows Christy.
Yeah, she probably.
So yeah, so it's important to have that representation. And like I say, it goes back to the question, why is it that girls aren't doing these things? And I really believe it's because what they see and what they expect.
So they see more of themselves, more likely to be more
Yeah,
interested.
they're more interested. And they'll probably think, like, even when people came in, like someone fixed, I said I'm IT professional. Somebody come and fix the computers. IT is more than computers. And when people think of computers, they think, like I said, of a programmer, somebody with big glasses,
Yes.
dark hair,
Yeah,
behind the computer screen,
Nerdy-like.
nerdy.
Yeah.
They're thinking ain't nobody wearing a female wearing makeup. So it's just important for that to be
understand the language
and to be able.
I feel sexist because I would say, you understand, and that's not nice.
Yeah.
That's not nice because all the Twitter programs I know are female, so I know they're competent. But now I'm analyzing. And they say, I have a stereotype about the ideal look for a computer programmer.
Even if you ask students right now, like, draw me a picture of a scientist, most of them can probably draw some white man with sticky hair. So.
And we have about a few more minutes. And you did mention industry and development. That's one of the core things that you're trying to promote and push. What does that mean?
What does that mean for me?
For you,
yeah,
and the program,
and the program, and and everything. Industry and development for me is Bohemians being able to take advantage of the already existing opportunities that we have industries in, but also growing and developing new industries. Like I said, I'll just go back to the Grand Bahama workshop. We, right now, based on my knowledge, there's only one, besides Island School, company that actually make biofuel or biodiesel, which is the Bahamas Sustainable Fuels, which is a part of Bahamas Waste. And they power that's what their garbage truck companies or drivers use. But if it's adopted and really become common, that is a whole career, an industry of people that we could create, and more people could be employed and even have their own business. So for me, it's not only, like I say, taking advantage of industries that we already have, but creating new ones. And ultimately, our vision, like I said, is to diversify the Bahamian economy. While we know tourism is important,
tourism is important.
Yeah, 46% of our GDP, but 46%, I believe. But at the end of the day, to be able to have an alternative in the event, like COVID showed us.
Yes, COVID did show us.
It's important. I like I said, I work as an IT professional. We export a lot of even our IT based or import a lot of our IT based skill set. Meaning, if there's a program or a system we need developed, we outsource that. That's millions of dollars a lot of times expended outside of this country. Whereas if we become skilled enough and competent enough, we'd be able to keep those big dollars at home. And now especially
with this blockchain thing.
Exactly. And that is important. I think the government is now starting to realize the importance of it. And now we can not only be able to keep it in-house, but like India, export that skill set to other countries. Now that not only that you'll be keeping money in, but also you get other dollars inside this country. So that's my view on it. And I'm hopeful that as we continue to grow and expand, that we get more support in being able to do that as well.
I see I have 4 minutes, but I did have a phone call. So let me push that phone call through. Go ahead, caller.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm listening to your caller. I'm trying to figure out the millions of dollars that they would pay foreign nationals to come in and do these IT work or whatever work that they need. Do you think that they would ever pay Bahamians half of that?
I believe so. I believe we would be able to.
Really and truly?
Yeah, really and truly, I believe so. I think it's a number of things that contribute to it. That we need to consider, and I kind of mentioned it, and not without going into too much details before, which is what I realize is a lot of Bahamians don't have the skill set in reference to knowing how to respond to these bids.
They can do the job.
They could do the job, just can't put it in writing. They just can't verbalize and or document how are they going to be able to do this job, and that is where a lot of times foreign counterparts kind of benefit. And so I believe once we are in position to do so and really take advantage of all of those opportunities, I think we would.
And your program does all of that. Teach all of that.
Yes, we teach all of that, the full comprehensive gamut of all of the things relative to, because it's good to know how to code.
Yeah, man, I want code. I mean, at least
it's good to know the code. It's good to know how to be able to produce the work, but articulating that is also important as well.
Okay,
and so
I asked that because I have a 16-year-old daughter who has always been interested in becoming a marine biologist.
Okay,
that is something you cannot find to be done around here. You know, I encourage her to do it, but I tell her I know we need it here, but I'm not sure where she can find the job here.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment. However, what I would suggest is still encourage her to go through her learn. If that is something she's passionate about, still encourage her to go through the process. However,
yes,
with
I now have on a second track for something as a backup just in case. She's leaning towards real estate.
okay,
Her plan is she wants to be a real estate tycoon.
okay,
So
that's great
I tell
as
her,
well.
That's more. I could see that happening. You know, even though the marine biologists are needed because of the global warming and our fishes, our groupers, our lobsters, and all this other stuff, we need those type of persons. But I tell her I don't see where it's easy for her to get into that field right here, right now.
Like I said, I would still encourage her to do that because at the end of the day, first of all, this is a global economy now, a global world now. If she happened to say wouldn't encourage it, but let's say she happened to want to work outside of this country. You have virtual work now. So she could still make a contribution to the Bahamas, even if she find opportunities outside of this country. Second of all, even with real estate, there's no reason why she can't do both. Real estate, it will benefit her greatly if she have a marine biology career as well or experience as well, because she could speak, let's say if she's selling beachside property, she could speak to a number of things. Let's say if she have a client who need to do an environmental impact assessment, she could also be contributing in that way as well. So I wouldn't suggest she have the opportunity to either do one or the other. I would suggest she do both if possible.
Thank you very much, caller. Today we were talking to President of FemSTEM, Kyronda Glinton, who was talking about her program and the opportunities for young girls and the benefits for that in the STEM. She's having a program in Grand Bahama, but you can reach her through where again?
FemSTEMBahamas.org or FemSTEM Bahamas on Instagram or Facebook.
Yes. Just in case you want to take part of that. And if you want to be a donator and help that, what do you do again?
You could go on the Together with a Live platform and you could go on FemSTEM Bahamas and you could donate through that platform.
And I don't have to be donating big money. I could do like a $20, $30.
$1.
$1?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
So just go on their website and donate that $1.
Yeah.
This is Guardian Radio AM. My name is C.A. Newry, and I see you again tomorrow.